First caller, and we'll be...
Hi, this is Jessica Maes, Infusionsoft Certified Consultant, and I'm going to show you how to let contacts update their info in your Infusionsoft application. Let me explain what I'm talking about here. So, I'm going to bring up a slide that shows you a web address. This is one URL. It's just on 2 lines because the font's so big I couldn't get it all on 1 line, but I wanted you to be able to see it. The first line looks familiar probably. Granted, you don't have Jessica Maes in your application URL, but if you put in your application name here, so if you took out Jessica Maes and you put in whatever your application name is, which most commonly is 2 letters and 3 numbers, .infusionsoft.com, you get to the screen where you and all of your users that you have set up in the system can log in and go into the Infusionsoft application to work. If you instead put in this entire web address, which I will have this in the blog post that will accompany this video so that you can go ahead and copy paste it. Of course, make the modification, get Jessica Maes out of there, it won't do you much good. But anyways, if you put in this entire URL, you don't go to the login page that you and your users would use to log into Infusionsoft. You instead go into a page that looks something like this. Now, it's not going to have a brown background. I went ahead and did a little branding on my page, but it's a page that's going to say, welcome to client login. It's going to say, returning clients, please log in here, email address, and password. And what this is this is a spot where contacts, anybody that's set up with a contact record in your Infusionsoft application, can log in and make some modifications to their information in their contact record. I'm going to show you how this works. And I'm going to show you, what modifications can be made. I don't want you to panic. They can't get access to your entire application. They can't see other contact records. They can't see a whole heck of a lot when they come in this way, as you'll see in just a minute. But it does come in really handy when you need to make some minor updates. Also, if you're watching this and you're thinking, well, why wouldn't you just do that in Customer Hub? Yes, you can go ahead and have people can go ahead and update things in your Customer Hub application, but keep in mind not all Infusionsoft customers have a Customer Hub application. So, and by the way, I have a Customer Hub application and I just used this yesterday so that somebody could update their credit card with me. So, what needs to happen is the person simply needs to have a password in their contact record. So what you would do is you would go into their contact record, you would click on additional info, you'd come down to the spot that says password, and if there is a password there, great, use it. If that field is blank, go ahead and put a password in, save so that it saves to the field, and then that is their password. The reason a password would be there is most likely you do have a Customer Hub application and there's a password sitting there because they do have access to your Customer Hub application. But if that's not a factor in your systems and so forth, that field is probably blank. You go ahead and put something in there. Be mindful of whatever your standards are for security and all that stuff, but you can go ahead and put whatever you want in that field for the password. So this contact record right here, I am going to go log in as. And here's the information that I have access to. I can go ahead and update my account and contact information. And I can also update the credit card that I have on file that was used for a subscription that I had with this particular customer. Now, I just want to be clear about a few things. Anyone that has a contact record in Infusionsoft is going to, if they were to log in, have this area right here. Go ahead and click Edit, and you can say, hey, I moved, I don't live there anymore, I now live here. Make a note of it, please. Please update my record. Boom. Now I have a different address. And if we were to go over to this contact record and we were to refresh the screen, it would now say that I live there rather than what I had in before. I'm actually going to change this back because that's not my address and I don't want to get confused later. And that's a relative's address and I don't want them to get confused either. Okay, so you can make modifications. I'll go to that screen one more time because I'm clicking around kind of fast. But there are updates that somebody can make to their contact information. And note, it's not everything in the contact record. So this isn't, going to be a fit for everybody that needs to make updates. And also, if someone just wants to update something like an address or their name is spelled wrong or something, chances are they probably have emailed that into you, and your customer service team is going to go ahead and make those changes. So I'm not saying that you have to do this way, but I want you to know that it's there because most customers do not know about this little trick. Okay, so that is what can be updated for the contact record. Now, the subscriptions area, there's only going to be information here if there's a subscription on file. It doesn't have to be active. You'll see this one's inactive. But a subscription, by definition in Infusionsoft, is something that triggered a recurring payment. So if, say, you have a coaching program and people pay a monthly fee to be a part of it, that is probably, if you're running the shopping cart out of Infusionsoft, that is probably set up as a subscription. That information would be right here. If the person's never had a subscription with you, it's going to be blank and there's not going to be a link that you can click on here for edit. So this isn't something that if you're just trying to grab a credit card for the first time and you want to do it in you want them to be able to do it in a way that they're not telling you over the telephone or whatever. If you don't already have something on file for them, you're not going to get the edit button so that they could, go ahead and give you that information. You can't grab information from scratch in terms of the credit card using this. However, if there is something, a past or an active subscription on file, that will be noted here. You can click edit, and then what I can do, you can't see it very well, the colors are kind of bad that I chose here, but look right here, it says credit cards. I guess I was too slow, I lost it. Oh, it's right here. It actually clicked and I didn't notice it. So I can put the credit card in here. So I can choose the type, I can add the number, so on and so forth, and I can click save, and then it would update that information in the contact record. Okay, so I just had this happen yesterday. Had a client that I have worked with in the past. We're doing some additional consulting, and pretty soon I will, with their permission, be charging the credit card that's on file. However, they let me know that the credit card number has changed. So they were all set to call in and tell me over the telephone what their credit card number was, and instead I gave them a password. I just told them to go ahead and log in and change their information here in this part of the application. So they did that. I don't know how long it took them, but they let me know probably within 5 minutes that it was done, and we didn't have to worry about, putting that confidential information over the telephone or through an email or anything like that. So this comes in super, super handy in certain situations. So like I said, this is probably not something that you're going to use necessarily a ton, but I do find that people just get excited knowing that it even exists because most of the time customers don't even know about this. So to refresh, this is the URL. We all have a version of this. You'd swap out your application, my application name for yours, but you would put this in your browser, and people simply have to log in using the email address, the primary email address in their contact record, and the password that is noted in their contact record. And then they can go in and they can make some minor modifications to their contact record. This is how we let contacts update their info in their Infusionsoft application.